Hey there, Get Up and Go Challenge, 40-day free challenge, day 43. I know, how can there be 43 days? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I want to talk about 10 things that you can always control no matter what. No matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on in your family, your life, your health, anything. These are 10 things, in no particular order, it's just a brainstorm list of 10 things that you can absolutely positively control if you so choose. It's always if you so choose, because guess what? Each and every one of us gets to decide and gets to make the decision about these 10 things. And actually, you know me, I'll have a bonus thing at the end, so there'll be 11 things, and it's entirely up to you. So, curious, what of these 10 things do you believe in your experience up to today, up to right now, that you absolutely positively can control? And which of these do you think that I am crazy about? Got an itch in my eye. That I am all wet about and that I'm not right about? Now, again, this is my opinion of a brainstorm list of 10 things that I know I can control. Guess what? I didn't always believe I could control these things either. I didn't always believe that I had a choice or could choose what I was going to do and how I was going to respond in some of these areas. So let me share the list, and then please share it in the comments below, your thoughts, your feelings, your experience with these things. The first one, number one, work. Your work ethic, how hard you work, how much you go for something, how much effort you put into anything, because work ethic is how much effort and energy you put into something. You have control over that. Number two, motivation, drive, hunger, how bad you want something, how much you desire or are willing to put in work or effort to get something. Motivation, drive, hunger for something, desire, that is something that you absolutely positively can control. Number three on my little cheat list is being on time. And with respect, this is my little cheat list, my Post-it note. I love Post-it notes. Being on time, showing up. I used to always tell my kids, 80% of success is actually just being there, showing up. If you're not present, if you're not there, you miss more than you can ever even imagine. Even if you feel like you're in a boring lecture at a boring event, there are things that you can look around and you can see and you can benefit from the experience, but you got to be there. You got to be on time. You got to show up. Whether you're on time or late, entirely controllable. And you can say, oh, the traffic, the weather, my car broke down. Yep, all of that can happen. But if we're placing a high priority on being on time and showing up, we figure out a way. We plan accordingly. We wake up 15 minutes early to take into account that there might be more traffic today, and maybe there isn't. Maybe there's no traffic, but we've gotten to work 15 minutes early, or we've shown up at a lecture or a meeting or something, or met a friend 15 minutes early. It's going to kill us to be 15 minutes early for anything? No, we can always use that time to think, to relax, to meditate, to prep ourselves for whatever it is we're attending. But being on time is number three. Number four, we, each and every one of us, can decide if we are going to take initiative, if we're a self-starter, or if we're able to figure stuff out, if we're able to troubleshoot problem solve or figure things out. A lot of that is just believing that it's possible for us. Nobody is going to take the initiative for us in our life unless we do, right? People have enough trouble taking initiative for themselves and figuring out what to do for themselves. They're certainly not going to spend their time and energy making sure you know what to do with your life at any given time. The fifth one on our list of things that we absolutely positively have control over is kindness, love, and happiness. Not necessarily how much we receive, but definitely how much we give out, how much we put out into the world. We can decide how we're going to respond to everything, and if we respond with kindness, love, and happiness, guess what we're going to get back? Kindness, love, and happiness. Next, attitude. Our attitude is 100% up to us. We can decide if we want to have an attitude of gratitude or not. What we appreciate in our life. What we appreciate, we get more of in our life. So having an attitude of gratitude is an incredible way to ensure that we're going to get what we want in our life. And we can decide if we're going to be grateful for the things we already have, or if we're going to commiserate over the things that we don't have. If we're grateful for the experiences that we've had, or if we're going to complain and bitch and moan about the experiences that we've had. Next, we can choose how much value we're going to give and if we're going to be of service. the more value we give, the more value we receive in return. The more, just like kindness, love, and happiness, the more of that we put out into the world, the more of that we get back in our lives. Being of value, being of service, giving value to other people, helping other people, we get to decide, each and every one of us, how we're going to do that and if we're going to do that in our lives or not. Next, asking questions, seeking to understand. I need my magnifying glass. Doing your homework, being curious about things. Each and every one of us gets to decide, well, how curious am I about that? Do I care about that? Am I going to look into it? Am I going to investigate? Or am I just going to take things on face value? Am I going to ask questions? Am I going to try to understand and see other people's viewpoints or understand a situation better? Or am I just going to take it on surface value? Each and every one of us get to decide. It doesn't cost us anything to ask questions. Now you might be saying, oh, it might make me embarrassed if I ask a stupid question. Well, it's more stupid to not ask the question and make decisions based on misinformation than it is to ask a question and make sure that you understand what's going on. Another area of control that we have that we often and sometimes don't take is in the area of personal development, continuous improvement, and lifelong learning. We all know people that have gotten to a certain age or gotten to a certain level in school, and then that's it. That's the last book they read, the last thing they looked to learn, and it's up to each and every one of us. We can decide if we want to be better human beings and be continually improving human beings, or if we just want to stay at a certain level of development. And a lot of times, people will stay at a certain level of development not knowing that they can continue to grow or be more than they are right now. But that's up to each and every one of us. No matter what's going on in the world, we can always seek to be a better human being. Next, and probably number 10, and one of my favorites, is each and every one of us has the ability to be ourselves uniquely and embrace everything about us or not. No matter what's going on in the world, we can choose to show up in the world as who we authentically are, or we can choose to wear a whole bunch of veils and a whole bunch of masks and a whole bunch of pretending and behaving how we think other people think that we should behave. But it is always 100% within our control how authentically we show up. If we show up as ourselves, or if we show up as a version of somebody else, or modeling something else or someone else that we think is somehow better than us and is more acceptable to show up in the world. Entirely within our control, no matter what's going on in the world. COVID-19, being rich doesn't make us a better person. It just makes us more of who we are. And crises or massive good fortune, any extremes, just speed up the process of showing the world who we are. So if you were a jerk and then all of a sudden you make a lot of money, you're still going to be a jerk, but you're just going to be a jerk with money. And that's, again, entirely up to you. It's 100% your choice. And the last thing, the bonus thing of my 10 things that we absolutely positively have 100% control over, no matter what's going on, no matter what's going on in the world or around us or what experience we're having, is that we can take 100% responsibility for ourselves, right? We can take 100% responsibility for how we respond to things, how we react to things, how we choose to show up in the world, how we choose to respond. That's 100% our responsibility. Now, sometimes we'll just react to things without thinking. Have you ever said or done something that you regret? Hello, every human being has. But we need to deal with the consequences of that and be responsible for our actions. We all get into situations where we're like, oh my God, I can't believe I acted that way or I said that thing. And the point of those is to teach us to learn from those so that we realize we are 100% responsible for everything we do, everything we say. And some people might act like they're not, but guess what? We all are. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now with respect to people being very unkind and very disrespectful and bullying to one another with respect to sharing their opinion. And the truth is, each and every one of us have a right to our opinion, and we also have a right to have that opinion without being barraged and bullied into changing that opinion or to being quiet because we don't have a right to express our opinion. At least in America, it's still a free country and we get to express our opinion. And just because a bunch of people beat you up on social media doesn't mean we have to be quiet. I always say that people show us exactly who they are. We just don't always want to see it. I was the the poster child for that in the past and in certain situations that I found myself in. It was because I was putting blinders on and not seeing people and situations for what they really were and what their intentions were. Not call me naive, but I have a tendency to think everybody's awesome until they, hit me upside the head and say, hey, I'm taking advantage of you. So that's not on me, that's on them for not being great human beings and not necessarily buying into, oops, my list of 10 things that I just dropped. 10 things that we absolutely positively can control. I would love to know if you agree or disagree with these things and what your experience has been. These are just things I've learned in my many years of life that I would argue with too. I might have argued in the day that giving value and being of service isn't that big a deal, or that I'm not responsible for things that in the way I respond and react. Sometimes people push you over the edge and you just lash out at them, and that's their fault, not mine. Well, it's their fault for being a jerk, but they're responsible for that. I'm responsible for my reaction no matter what. All right, that's it. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow for a Q&A on, maybe we'll just go over the top 10 questions that people have about challenges. That's it. Have an awesome day. Take care. Bye. Get up and go.